Hi, welcome to Self-Talk Body Soul channel. My name is Maria, and here we talk all things spirituality, mental health, personal development, and growth mindset. Today I want to talk about certain things that I have been interested in recently that help me understand myself better and my life and things that happen to me. One of them is astrology, and another one is human design. I'm not here to teach you about any of these things. I'm only here to talk about my experience of learning about myself through these modalities. So for those who don't know, human design, basically it's a combination of multiple modalities put into one to give you the best understanding of yourself, what your blueprint is, based on where you were born, when you were born, what time, and I don't think your name matters, but they usually ask for your name as well when you do these charts online. And astrology is information based on your, again, date of birth and time of birth, and if you like, human design is kind of a more in-depth discovery of yourself because it combines astrology with other things as well. And whether you believe in these things or not, I've come to really see that they affect my life. We can't not be affected by things that are around us, by magnetic fields, by other planets. It's just impossible. We're part of this universe. If you get rid of something in nature on this planet, one part of an ecosystem, it's not going to not have repercussions. Most likely the whole ecosystem will have to rearrange itself to adapt to this missing piece. And so we are part of that. And so to think that we're not affected by anything outside of ourselves is kind of silly, in my opinion anyway. And what I found through just observation, I wasn't really into astrology or anything like that even 3 years ago. But I've really just observing and sort of taking notes, not really going in depth with any of it, but just observing, I've noticed just how much it all affects me, especially the moon cycles and major sort of astrological events like retrogrades and eclipses. And what helped me actually is a diary that's called Moonology. I use it as like a personal sort of daily planner, but it has moon cycles in it, and it talks about them in depth and how they affect different people depending on your personal astrology. And that's kind of been my introduction to this topic. And I absolutely loved it. I used a diary like that the whole of last year, and I bought one this year as well. And what I've observed is, I would have something happen in my life, and something maybe unsettling or on different topics as well. And then I would go into my diary and I would read that week's report, or what was happening in the sky that week, and it would literally tell me the things that happened to me already. I would read them on paper. Yasmin is the author of this Moonology diary. She prepares these a year in advance to obviously sell them before the start of the year. So she would write something for, let's say, June back in November, November probably, and it would literally to the week, it would reflect what would happen in that week for me. And it was just insane, but there's no magic to it. It's just, things are logical, and it's an ancient form of art and philosophy, and I have come to believe in it because I could just physically see the resemblances, and it's hard to not believe something when it's that to the point. And so I've been looking up to astrology and other modalities as a way to sort of analyze my life and see what comes up for me, and that has been really incredibly helpful in my healing journey. And if any of you are into astrology, then you will know that the last month or so we were in the so-called eclipse season, which means that I can't remember which day now, but around the beginning of May or end of April we had an eclipse happen. I can't remember which one it was, solar or lunar, and then recently we had another eclipse happen, and that window between the two eclipses is called the eclipse season. And within that there was also Mercury retrograde and full and new moons, and it's when all of these things happen by themselves, they are really powerful in terms of bringing up a lot of energy and emotion and events that trigger us. But when things like that combine in the same sort of time frame, it is extremely cathartic. You maybe remember a couple of weeks ago I released a video on some cathartic events that happened in my life that were very emotional, and that was just the start of it really for me. The last month was really crazy. Emotionally, I was crying a lot and mourning and grieving a lot of things inside, and so many old emotions were coming up, the things that I haven't really felt for some of them years, and they were just all coming up on the surface as if I had to just relive them again and let them go. And I don't really know if I managed to let them go or not. I don't know if they will have to return for me to integrate them more. I don't really know, but it's been a ride. The last month has been really a ride. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about as well. From the start of the year, I was very focused, I was very productive, I was doing my daily planning and getting into that habit and learning about it a lot, doing courses and things like that. And again, I remember quite a long time ago, about a year ago even, I think I posted on Instagram, I released a post talking about how we are cyclical beings, especially women, because moon affects every woman every month. Men are also affected, but to a lesser extent. But we all are cyclical beings, meaning that we go through cycles of everything, cycles of energy. Sometimes we're more energetic, sometimes we're less energetic, sometimes we are more loving, sometimes less. We are cyclical in everything. Our eating habits change every month and every day. And yet we try to fit ourselves into a linear world whereby we have to be productive all the time. We have to go 100% all the time. We don't need to rest. We need to eat healthy all the time. Healthy meaning, having the same routine of food every day. And I think that in itself has put us out of sync a lot. And even though I posted about that a year ago or something, it must be even more than a year ago, I made a post about that myself. Even obviously I live in this society, so I can't just change myself like that. I'm still susceptible to that notion that I should always be the same. I've been productive for months, and when the whole eclipse season started, it really affected me. I couldn't be productive as I was before because I was tired and I had so many emotions come up and I had to sit with them. And that, I think for the first time in my life, I have been very gentle with myself during this season. I have given myself more rest, and I've been very mindful, so I'm really proud that I have improved. But still there was that underlying feeling of guilt, like I shouldn't be resting, I should be getting on to things, otherwise I won't progress in my life. And and then once I realized that potentially a lot of these things that have been happening to me were because of the planetary events, it helped me just be more accepting and realize that certain things are more powerful than me. Certain things I can't control. Certain things are really going to dominate my life like planets. And I can't do anything about that. I just have to accept that and go with the flow. I can't force, against all these powerful forces, but I'm going to, as a result, get ill, get injured, which I actually have got injured, because these forces are much stronger than me and they're going to stop me a lot. So the healthiest thing to do is just to pause and take your time. Before I've been learning about astrology and similar modalities, when things like that, when seasons like that would happen in my life, I would just think that, it happens because there's something wrong with me. I'm just not, I'm lazy, I am this, I'm that, labeling myself with all the negative things. And when I've started learning about the moon and the planets and my own being, because everyone is different anyway, the moon won't affect everyone the same way. And the way it affects me results in this and that event. And that's just my life. And that has helped me to just accept myself and not beat myself up when I would be doing less than normal, So yeah, just learning about yourself from all the different sides of life is just so beneficial. And when it comes to that linearity topic, it makes me think, like, why do we not want to be cyclical? Like, why are we so against change and not being perfect? And that's really the answer. It lies in this statement, it's that we're afraid to not be perfect. But it's so silly. Like, who is perfect? Robots. Robots are perfect. They're programmed to be the same way, until the battery runs out, and then you charge it up again. Even robots run out of batteries, but we don't allow ourselves to run out of batteries, And anyway, why do you want to be like a robot? Why are we so striving to be like robots? Like, working all the time and not accepting that we are living beings. Through working a lot and getting tired, I started getting that feeling of a bit depressed and unhappy again. I heard someone say that, we are unhappy not because we don't have any time. We are unhappy because we don't do enough of what makes us happy. We don't make time. We don't make consciously time to do the things that make us happy. We don't schedule that into our busy lifestyle. But the problem is, when we don't schedule things into our life, the time will just get filled anyway. And that's the brutal truth of life. If you just have free time in your schedule, it's going to get filled unless you are going to put something into that schedule. And so you really just have to schedule in your happiness into your day. Because otherwise you're just never going to find time to do anything that you enjoy. And when you don't find the time to do the things that you enjoy, you get depressed and you get unhappy. And then you just lose any meaning of whatever it is you're doing otherwise. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why we're doing anything is to be fulfilled and be happy. If you are in that place in life where you're unhappy and you're thinking about what can I add into my life, first thing I'd say would be to declutter your life first. We are very good at doing 10,000 things at the same time or focusing on many things in one day, but that will drive it to anxiety. And I've found for myself that what really helps is focusing on just 1 or 2, maximum 3 things in a day. 1 or 2 is better. 1 is excellent, but that's some pro level of mindfulness. And I'm not there yet for sure. But if you declutter your life first from the things that are not necessary to do, your time frame will free up so much straight away. And maybe the first step to figuring out what it is that you like is to just declutter your life. Only narrow it down to the things that you absolutely have to do in a day. And once you do that, in your free time, just feel what you're drawn towards. And do that and make notes, make mental notes of what it is that you enjoy. And then once you know that, you can actually schedule these things into your life as well. That would be my advice, and that's what I'm going to do too. Decluttering your life. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like it, please click the like. Please click the like button. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I release a new video every week. And I will see you in the next one.